Hey students, this is part 2 of our notes from 4.3, writing equations in intercept form. So it's just continuing the last 3 problems of the notes. We're going to go ahead and just ask you to, once again, this is the practice problem of where we left off. So pause the video if you haven't done this at this example first, and then continue the video when you're ready to check. All right, so let's check it together. Hopefully you tried this first, and the template for this is y equals a, x minus p, x minus q, and you need to find a point. So we're going to use the vertex as a point right here, x comma y, and the x-intercepts as your p and your q. Excuse me. So we're going to replace the y value of 6. We don't have the a value. We're going to put the x value of 5 minus your p. So the first intercept that I have right here is a 4. And then the x value of the point that we're using again, so that's a 5 minus the other x-intercept, so that's a 6. So once all these values are filled in, we're going to solve for 8. So 5 minus 4 is 1. 5 minus 6 is negative 2. And then we're going to multiply 1 times negative 2, that's negative 2. And then now we have a times negative 2, so we're going to divide by negative 2 to get rid of that. And then we get negative 3 equals a. So if a equals negative 3 on our equation, we're going to have y equals negative 3, parentheses, x minus your x-intercept right there. So that's a 4. And then x minus your other x-intercept, just a 6. So that is the equation you should have gotten. All right, for the next 2 problems, these are saying critical thinking because they are required to analyze it a little bit. You're being asked to write an equation given a 0 and maximum, and it has to be in intercept form. So the template, once again, is y equals a, x minus p, x minus q. And you need the intercepts, which they are given to you right here by the word zeros. And that will be x minus negative 7 and x minus 2. So far we have this, which is y equals a, x plus 7, x minus 2. Now, in order to find the a value, we need a point. So if they're just giving you the maximum, you need to visualize the grid and then visualize the point of negative 7 being here as an x-intercept, and then positive 2. And then if it's telling that the maximum is at 20.25, that means that you're going to have a point somewhere up here, and the maximum value for that is going to be 20.25. So that means the graph is going down. And this is why it's critical thinking, because you're analyzing all this visual representations of the information. And you know that this vertex, this maximum, is where the vertex is at. And that's also where the axis of symmetry is at. So the axis of symmetry happens to be cutting this distance exactly in half. So it will help for you to find out first how much distance this is. So if this is negative 7, 0 to negative 7, that is 7 spaces. And then this is 2, so that's 2 more spaces. So there's a total of 9. And half of 9, from here to here, it's 9 spaces. So half will be 4.5. So if we look at the distance, this is negative 7. And if we trace back 4.5 spaces, or if we look at this as a 2, and if we move this way 4.5 spaces, where do we stop? So 1, 2, that's 0, 1, 2, and then half. So we're looking at negative 2.5 being that x value that the axis of symmetry cuts by. So x equals negative 2.5. If we put the maximum and the axis of symmetry together, it creates that vertex of negative 2.5, comma 20.25. So we are going to use this as an x and the y value in our equation and figure out what a value is. So for A, we're going to have 20.25 equals, we don't know the A. For X, we're going to put negative 2.5 plus 7. And then again, negative 2.5 plus 7. So now we're going to solve for A and simplify this equation. So we're going to have 2.5, negative 2.5 plus 7. And that's going to be 4.5. And then same thing here. Oh, I'm sorry, this is plus 2. Yeah. Negative 2.5 plus 2. So that's just going to leave it as negative 0.5. So then we multiply these two. 4.5 times negative 0.5. That's going to give you negative 2.25. And then to get the A value by itself, we're going to divide by negative 2.25. So 20.25 divided by negative 2.25. So that equals 9. Negative 9. So if A is negative 9, our equation will be y equals negative 9x minus the 7, negative 7. So that's going to be negative minus negative, which is plus 7. And then x minus 2. So that creates that equation. All right, so pause the video and see if you could try this other critical thinking example, and then continue the video when you're ready. Okay, so on this example, once again, we're going to identify the roots as your P and Q. So that's going to be y equals A, x minus negative 2, which is minus negative, which creates that plus. So I'm just going to erase that and just put plus. And then the other one is x minus 10. This other one. So now that we have that, we need to create that point that we need. So if the minimum is negative 144, we got to create a visual of negative 2 being our x-intercept right here, and then a positive 10 somewhere over here. And the distance from here to here is about 12 spaces. So 10 and then 2 more. And then half of that will just be 6. So if we do 2 spaces that way, we need to go 4 more spaces this way. So that's going to be the axis of symmetry at 4. So we draw axis of symmetry at x equals 4. And if the minimum is at negative 144, that means imagine we have a point somewhere down here. That's a minimum at negative 144. And then it just goes up and touches those two values. So this vertex is created with the minimum and the axis of symmetry, and that vertex will be 4, negative 144. And that would be the x and y value we're going to use in our equation. So for the y value, I'm going to write negative 144 equals a. X is our 4. 4 plus 2. And then 4 minus 10. We simplify. 4 plus 2 is 6. 4 minus 10 is negative 6. So then now we have 6 times negative 6, which is negative 36. And then we have the 8 times negative 36, so we divide by negative 36 to cancel that. And when we divide 144 by 36, let's see, you get 4. So here we have positive 4 equals 8. So the equation will be y equals 4, x minus your p, which is minus negative, so that becomes plus 2, and then x minus 10. So that's the equation for this problem. I hope this video helps you.